Good morning, good morning, good morning, Top Fan Rivalry followers, or whenever you're listening to this. It's Friday morning. You know what that means. That means it's a weekly review with Jackson and Bill, and we are going to have some fun tonight, or I'm sorry, today, because the Dodgers and Braves just finished their series. Giddy up. Jackson, that series went pretty well, right? The right team won 2 out of 3, right?
Eh,
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 the guy says,
can't win them all.
eh. I'm just poking the bear. I'm loving it. All right. Jackson, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah,
You know, you know, ready
doing
for
it.
the Braves Philly series this weekend. You know, I'm ready to talk some baseball tonight. This morning,
Let's do it.
whatever time it is. I don't know what time it is anymore.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So talk to me. So what's your number one?
Uh, as the top fan stats guys, I feel obligated to talk stats because I haven't talked a lot of stats in the last couple of weeks.
Talk away.
So, and there were some important milestones in baseball this last week. Freddie Freeman hit his 300th home run.
Yeah.
Mike Trout passed Joe DiMaggio on the home run list, hitting his 362nd home run. Luis Castillo for the Mariners struck out his 1,000th batter, and Garrett Cole struck out his 2,000th batter. So, you know, lots of fun milestones. We talked about it before the season. We never actually put together the list of milestones that we thought was going to happen this season. But, there's four right there. Four pretty big ones.
Yeah. Yeah. It's um they the MLB is almost like they're getting their dream season. They come up with these crazy rules that make no sense to anybody, right? But you're having more stolen bases, you're having more offensive production, and the pitchers are striking out more batters, and the pitchers are winning more games. It's just insane. Like, try this on for size, and it just doesn't make sense. But whatever.
It doesn't. I mean, and then as a bonus stat for all you extra stat nerds, I think Mike Trout passed some guy named Ken Griffey Jr. on the WAR list. Heard that guy was pretty good.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I've heard of him. He's decent.
So yeah,
He's he's decent. So I love that you talked milestones because I literally on my notes here I had talk about Freeman and talk about Trout. So
oops,
thank you, Jackson.
oops.
That's all right. Top fans, it's been a great show. We're out. No,
I think we got it all covered, right?
got it all done. All right. So now I'm going to go down to my number two. We're still going to stay in the AL East. Everybody's still over 500. But Jackson, what the heck is happening in Toronto? 2-8 over their last 10 games. Um, two they've lost two in a row, and it doesn't get any easier for them from a schedule perspective. So I'm gonna read off to you some scheduling here for them. And I don't understand this. They get the Minnesota Twins, the Milwaukee Brewers to finish out this month. Then they get the Mets, Astros, Twins again, then Baltimore, then Texas. So I it's not going to get any easier for them. What's going on? I mean, they got a a fantastic lineup. What's going on there in Toronto?
They seem a little rattled from the Yankee series that we talked about a little bit last week, where emotions kind of boiled over. I don't know if you saw the game that Alek Manoah pitched
Hmm.
against Baltimore, where he was chirping at the hitters, and then the manager John Snyder went out to calm him down, but accidentally used his second mound visit of the inning, which
Yes.
which prompted him to an automatic pitching change. So it was certainly an interesting situation. I've never seen a major league manager lose count of how many times he's gone to the mound, especially since we've been in the three batter minimum for what, like four years now. That's the first time I've seen it. This is like the fourth season of it. So I just think they're a little rattled. They've been playing. So they played the Yankees after sweeping the Braves, which we won't talk about because we already talked about why we don't talk about that last week. They played the Yankees for 4 games, Baltimore for 3, and then Tampa Bay for 4. So that's 10 like really tough divisional games in a row. Like all three of those teams are fantastic, and they're not playing well. So when you're not playing well against your division rivals, it kind of compounds the frustration because if you're Toronto, you're 26 and 25 and you're last place.
Yeah. Yeah, which, okay, yeah, yes, but I mean, you can make an argument that, well, if you were 26 and 25, you'd be leading the AL Central, which that's not a big deal. You'd be in fourth place in the West, but you'd be 6 games out. National League East, you would be in second place. You'd be 4.5 games out. National League West, or National League Central, you'd be a game and a half out in second place. And National League West, you would be 5 games out and in third place. So I guess you can make an argument that it's the division that they play in, but
I mean, they're like a few games out in the wild card too. I guess that's the frustrating part. You know, you're a game over 500 this early, and you're like 3, 4 games out of the wild card behind Houston. So it's tough, you know. And I think because Toronto has a lot of really good players, there's a lot of pressure on them to perform well. You know, going 2-8 over a 10-game stretch against divisional opponents does not feel good.
mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
So
mm-mm. Yeah, no, it doesn't, and it's a little scary. I'll be honest with you. It's funny, but it's scary how good that division is, right? So yeah, I'll take it. All right, what do you got for number two?
for number two, we'll talk numbers again. How about attendance over baseball for this last weekend from was 1,518,016, which was the best weekend attendance in April or May in more than 6 years. So
Wow.
do you think the rule changes the pace of play has helped bring more people to the ballpark, Bill? Or do you think it's more the league format with the schedule where teams get to play more diverse opponents?
So yes and yeah. How's that?
Sounds good.
So yeah. It's like, uh, so yes, it does help when you're watching on TV. When you go to a game and you ask me, when you go to a game, it's awesome if the ballpark's right around the corner from your house, right? For example, if you live in downtown San Diego and you live in one of the high rises by Petco, it's awesome, right? But if you have to drive 40 minutes and the game's only 2 hours and 15 minutes, probably not awesome. Probably not awesome. So it is helping it, but it's weird. I think it's a little weird, but it is helping it. Yes, to answer your
I
question.
know it does seem kind of counterintuitive because people are always complaining about ticket prices. It's
Yeah.
like now that the game's faster, I think people are starting to adapt though, where you get there a little earlier. Now everyone tries to get there for like batting practice or around there that time. And that way you get to drink in the ballpark and then you sit and you enjoy the nice brisk pace that the game's played at now, and you get the full ballpark experience. That I've done that a couple times this year, and it feels great that format. You just got to show up a little early. It's just more of a time commitment, but hey,
Listen, I've been there when you've been drunk by the second inning. I'm just teasing. Jackson doesn't drink. I'm just teasing everybody. But you're absolutely right. And it's interesting. Yeah. It's just interesting to see how that all plays itself out, right? And what it looks like, right? What does it smell like? What does it look like? That kind of stuff. So, all right. Now I'm going to ask you a question for my number two.
all right.
Okay. I want you to name this player if you can. I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but name this player. I'm going to read some statistics here for you. And you tell me if this is a first ballot Hall of Famer, a Hall of Famer, or a Hall of Very Good. Okay. Now I just got off yesterday. I'm sorry, today, doing a podcast, and we talked about this very player. This is a 16-year veteran, all with one team. Okay. He has 2,093 hits, 453 doubles, 349 RBIs, 1,106. I'm sorry, 1,106 RBIs, 342 homers, with a career batting average of 297. And I guess if we're talking WAR, I don't see his WAR on here, but yeah. So 7 hits shy of 2,100, 340 2 home runs, 1,106 RBIs, 297 batting average. Who am I talking about? Don't look it up, stats guy.
Well, I already know the answer. It's Joey Votto. I wrote an article on this earlier this year, Bill. Do you not remember?
I do remember. I wanted to see if you
Oh.
remember that. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
In my opinion, yes. He was the best, arguably top 2 player in baseball for a 7-year stretch.
Okay. 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 I and this is where I struggle. Okay. This is truly where I struggle because numbers wise, and if you calculate up the first basemen that aren't in the Hall, numbers wise, he doesn't get there. But was he the most dominant of first basemen? Like you said, for that 6, 7, 8 year period, 1,000%. So it's kind of a toss up.
Yeah, I mean, I have his stats pulled up now, but like he's led the league in on base 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 times in a 9-year stretch, and it was all over 400.
Yep.
416 was the lowest he had it in that stretch. 474 was the highest it was, which is just that's mind boggling. 474 on base percentage. I think Joey Votto was kind of the first of the newer analytic baseball guys. You know, hits a lot. His powers all doubles and home runs, and he draws a lot of walks. And he's your prototypical big bopper. I think he's the kind of first baseman you want. Plays good defense. You know, before he got old. You know, and swings a good stick. So
Before he got old.
yeah, before he got old.
Before he got old.
I think because you have to compare Hall of Famers to the era they played in, absolutely Joey Votto is a Hall of Famer.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Maybe not first ballot though. He doesn't have the counting stats to be first ballot, but I think he should get it.
What puts me over the top to say that Joey Votto deserves to be in the Hall is he is a very good ambassador for the game. Not a jerk, not a hothead. Sure, we all can find a video of him getting thrown out because of bad calls at home plate, on balls to strikes, but not a jerk at all. Good dude. Good dude. So I'm gonna go with yes, he goes in the Hall. All right.
All right.
Who you got for your last one?
Last one. So we've talked a lot about teams recently on here on Top Fan. But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are the 2023 A's going to be the worst baseball team of all time?
No.
No?
No. But will they have 110 losses? Yes.
Oh, I think they easily will. I have some numbers for you.
Please do.
So since 1900, the Oakland A's are tied for the worst 50-game start in Major League history since 1900. Tied with the 1932 Boston Red Sox, who also lost 40 games to their first 50. I think this Oakland team's going to lose easily more than 110 games at the rate they're going.
At the rate they're going, they're on pace to lose 125. Do I think that they have a shot to pick it up a little bit someplace? Yeah. Yeah, I do. They're not going to stay this bad. They can't stay this bad. It's just not. No, they can't. I don't know. I don't know how else to put this. They can't stay this bad. Maybe the dog days of summer will get to them and they'll put up something, but who knows, right?
Yeah, I mean, so as it currently sits, they have the third worst winning percentage. Right now, they're only 51 games into the season, but right now, third worst winning percentage. That's behind the Pittsburgh Alleghenies in 1890, who went 23-113, and of course the Cleveland Spiders, who went 20-134 in 1899.
You think they're going to lose more than 134?
They can. The team's that bad though. They have maybe 2-3 players that are major league caliber everyday players, and that's by design. You know, and I find it ridiculous that, you know, if you look at the lineup they've had, the guys they traded away Sean Murphy, they traded away Matt Olson, they traded away Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't a bunch of scrubs. They traded away for, you know, bags of baseballs.
Yeah.
For low end
batting practice balls. Yep, I agree with you.
Low end prospects. The Braves traded Kyle Muller and Christian Pache for Matt Olson and Sean Murphy. I mean,
Yeah.
Shea Longlier's is probably the best prospect they got, and I don't think he's quite ready to be an everyday catcher, but he is for the Oakland Athletics. So to me, it's just kind of sad to see a team just not care. You know, this is a professional team. Where's your pride?
Yeah. I mean, again, they're drawing 1,900 people to their stadium on a home game.
But again, that's by design, though. They don't want people there.
What is this, Major League? We need to lose enough games so that we can move the team to Miami? What is this?
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Okay. Okay.
anyways,
All right. Sorry, A's.
that
We still love you.
yeah,
Las
love you,
Vegas
Oakland A's
A's.
fan. I'm sorry that it's come to this, but that's my rant. So this may be the worst baseball team we ever witnessed.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. My number 3 is a softball. Okay, this is easy, right? Can we not talk about Aaron Arson Judge? I mean, this guy's back at doing it again. Didn't he just win Player of the Week?
He
Um,
did.
I
He
mean,
did.
he's just like Toronto doesn't ever want to see that guy ever again in Toronto. Like,
Okay, so that's too bad. You
yeah,
just signed a massive contract. That's too bad.
I mean, they don't ever want to see that guy ever again in their stadium ever. Rogers Center, if they never see him again, they're happy, right? So Aaron Judge is being back to Aaron Judge, and he's scary good, guys. And it's if you give up a home run, if you're a pitcher and you give up a home run, Aaron Judge, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna look at it and go, I'm in a pretty cool club because there's a lot of people that have done this, right? And it doesn't matter how good of a pitcher you are. One mistake, that guy is so big and so strong. So forget about it. I mean, he's just that good.
Yeah, I actually saw a funny thing on social media where somebody's like, it seems like every pitch that Aaron Judge hits over the fence is a meatball. Does that pitchers just, get nervous and throw him a lot of meatballs, or does he punish every single mistake pitch? And it's probably that second one. He's
Let,
just that good.
yeah. I'll say both. Can I say,
Yeah.
are we allowed to say both here?
I think both is a valid answer as well. But when you have a guy like him, a guy like Mike Trout, you can't miss your spot, because if you leave it remotely over the plate, that ball's in a different zip code.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say both here. Just like Joe Torre said, if you ever read his book, The Yankee Years, he talks about how the Yankees won a bunch of games because when they go on the road, the people were afraid of the name on the front of their jersey, not how good the team was. And they would make mistakes, and the Yankees would just punish them for the mistakes. So at the end of the day, when you're looking at it, Aaron Judge, if I'm looking at this 6 foot something guy, right, and I know if I make a mistake, it's a 400-foot home run. Am I being too fine? Maybe, but he's just that good. He can just hit it. He can hit everything. So, all right. Do you have any honorable mentions for us this week?
For those of you who haven't watched the clip from Johan Duran pitching Wednesday, go back and watch that, because if you've ever seen 104 move vertical, oh boy, some nasty pitching. So shout out to him for throwing 3 pitches at 104. I watched a pitch sequence where he went 100 and 100-mile-an-hour sinker that dove like that, and then 104 that tailed away from the lefty, and then he throws a 90-mile-an-hour curveball that does this.
Yeah.
Three swings and misses.
Crazy. So I got to give a shout out to somebody who made his major league debut. Unfortunately, Jackson was against you guys, but Bobby Miller. And if you were watching that game, he's a special talent. He throws in the hundreds. I will say though, unless he can locate his changeup and his off speed stuff, I mean, Aaron, did you watch the game?
I did.
Austin Riley teed off on him like he stole his lunch on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, because that's what professional baseball players do. But when he started getting comfortable, when he mixed in that 90-mile-an-hour changeup or 90-mile-an-hour curveball and things like that, that's when he was being effective. But if all he's got is that fastball, Acuna, Riley, Rosario, Judge, I mean, you name a player, they're just going to tee off on it. That's what's going
Yeah.
to happen.
I mean, that's what I noticed. I think he got away with a couple pitches that, maybe he shouldn't have got away with. A couple of they were saying on the broadcast too, you throw 100 miles an hour, you get away with that pitch in AAA if you leave it in the zone, up at the zone. But, sooner or later, major leaguers are going to figure out, oh, he can't locate it in the top of the zone, and they're going to, it's going to be like a kid on Christmas. They see that high fastball and their eyes light up, and it's one of those highlight home runs where the camera can't pan fast enough to catch the ball because it's already ricocheted off the stand and it's back into the field of play.
And Jackson, I will tell you this straight out. And you know me, I'm not a Dodger goober. I love the Dodgers, but I can recognize certain things. I'm literally yelling at the TV when Austin Riley comes up before they even throw one pitch to him. I'm yelling at the TV, do not throw him a first pitch fastball because he'll tattoo it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. And I think Acuna was on second base at the time. And I just thought, start him off with the changeup. Start him off with the fastball that's 90. Don't like giddy up on it. And what's he do? He throws him 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And Austin Riley splits the uprights in left center. And that ball was crushed. Don't say anything except for that ball was crushed. So
yeah, I was looking for a little smoke trail off of it.
yeah. I was looking to see if Austin Riley still had a bat. I mean, he just destroyed that thing. So
but
but
I thought he pitched well under pressure. I mean, he's a rookie, so you can't really nitpick too much.
No, you can't. And his family was there, and he's geared up, and it's real stuff at this point and everything like that. And I get it, but remember, there's another pitcher that used to throw close to that, and before he learned how to use a curveball and a changeup, he was getting drilled, and that pitcher's name was Eric Gagne. So
yeah.
Anyways,
not everyone can be that guy from Seattle. What's his name? Miller, and only throw the fastball. Not everyone can be that guy. So
yeah. And the other shout out I want to give out to you is, how about in Chicago? How about Justin Steele?
That's a good shout out.
That kid's having a season.
He is.
And what is his name? Christopher Morale as well, this rookie.
Yeah.
That kid's sick. What are you laughing about? You know he's sick.
I'm laughing because they sent him down to AAA and they pull him up and he's got like 8 home runs in 14 games or something. Yeah. Like he was mad. He was mad about it.
Cody who? Cody Bell what? Who?
You spent money on Bellinger? Why? I'm right here.
I'm right here. Come on.
He was offended by the Eric Hosmer trade. Is what he was really mad about, probably.
Yeah, the DFA of Eric Hosmer.
So that probably made him happy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Top Fan Rivalry followers, this has been a great episode. Jackson and I just have fun doing this stuff. I mean, I look forward to Thursdays to do this with Jackson. I'm sorry, Fridays. I get my days mixed up. What do I know? It's just you're on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. What do I know?
What is time?
Pay attention. There will be some lives coming up here where Jackson will be on. We're going to do some stuff, but please make sure that you're following Jackson and Thomas. So you want to follow Jackson at Top Fan Stats Guy. You want to follow Thomas at 755 Chop Talk. And then they have their own podcast, if you're not listening to it, on YouTube. And what's it called, Jackson?
It's called Chop House Chatter. We talk Braves baseball and other various MLB topics. So
MLB topics.
We have fun guests. We have fun. We just 2 guys hanging out.
2 guys hanging out. So, but Jackson, we'll do it again next week, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. For all you Top Fan Rivalry followers, we thank you. Thanks for listening. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Make sure that you honor those who have served and have given all. So we appreciate everything, and we will have you. We'll do this again next week.